Good evening. We are about to see the vodcast for the fourth Async race in the Tournament of Champions qualifiers. I'm joined here by Theona.
Good evening.
So, as there was a bit of an oddity in the random number generation, it turns out that for the third time this qualifiers, we are running Winter 24. The
Well,
flag set
apparently,
that never dies.
yeah. Apparently, Rando's gonna rando even when we're trying to rando the rando to rando the rando.
Sounds about right. So,
JSI once again falling upon his sword to apologize to everyone. We'll break him of the habit eventually, folks. It's fine.
anyway, before we can get started, how about a quick refresher about the Winter Tournament 2024 flags for people who aren't familiar with them? So, the main theme of it is that it's an oops or lose flag set, so all the progression items are in random chests all over the place, with just one thing, that the fetch quest turn-in items can be turned for 7 pieces of gear, including the massa, a vorpal, ribbon. Actually, I should open up the flags just to be sure of the exact ones.
Sounds good. I remember running this once or twice, and I forget half of what's in them. I've been running so many seeds recently. But if memory serves, the NPC turn-ins were all gears. You had the opal, the ruse stick, the power bonk, that kind of thing.
Indeed, Excal, vorpal, opal, power bank, real stick, ribbon, and the tail. Right.
The tail, important to have for everybody, sort of, kind of. We don't have a black belt, so that's not a problem.
Anyway, what were the blessings on this one? We might need the trackers to tell us. And looks like we got started. So, white magic level 1. I see here 3 and Expert.
Black
and
level 1
Harm
looks
for
like
an early sweeper. Meanwhile, in black, Quad X, which is buffed to a 600 HP in this flag set, so extremely nice. As well as Confused for some safety against carry, among other things.
Let's see a quick armor check.
Ooh,
shop
gold plus
check.
6. Might be worth coming back to get one if we're lacking some armor. And I see Bright Teeth and Ruber are already out of Canera heading toward Turf.
There we go. And while they're going, our handy dandy trackers have given us the blursings. The fighter has plus 10 vitality and improved cat claw. I mean, that's something. Thief has plus 80 hit points and heal magic. That's going to be handy early. The red mage has equipped axes and plus 50 agility, so they're going to be hard to hit. The white mage has bonus red mage armor and plus 20 strength, so they'll be able to wear something besides bracelets. And the black mage has elemental magic and plus 40 hit points.
Right. So, when we were going over the blessings, we could see that in Toph was offers loose item, the crown, as well as a shard, since this is a shard and flag set, so there are 32 shards in chests and 12 that can be obtained from killing the fiends, and we need, was it? Yes, it was 28 to open Topher instead of lighting the 4 orbs, so some dungeons might end up being optional, and we see the loot in its vanilla location on Princess Sarah.
Is this even randomized?
And the dwarves have the canoe. I'm surprised that nobody made the play of going straight for dwarves. I know that was pretty common in the tournament.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people head straight to dwarves to check that before going over to Provoca, and in this case, it gives them early access immediately to Northwest to go see what Astos has. And I didn't see because they menued too fast.
Right?
But it doesn't
I
matter
never
because
had the time to catch that in the window. And it was the X-Car.
that's something handy for our fighter to swing if they ever promote.
One of the weapons making Topher much safer than it otherwise would be, making short work of the fiends.
Yeah, it's great to have up until Chaos. Chaos being immune to basically everything just kind of laughs.
Black Magic level 3 is pretty big with 5-3 and Temper, so pretty great early game sweeper and an excellent buff. Fade in a white level 3 as well as Invis 2, so level 3 was loaded for both mages.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and anybody who took a red mage is going to be happy with that.
Well, I think it was Fade that was in red mage only slot, so maybe not for the red mage users.
Well, they won't be happy about missing Fade, but they'll have Invis 2 on top of Fire 3 and Temper, so the red mage can just cover everybody. That's 2 casts of Invis 2, and if they find the white shirt, somebody waving that around.
Fair. Instead of going to Elfland, Frighteeth has gone straight to the March Cave, checking the attic first, since, well, the bottom isn't incentivized. Might as well check everything.
Yeah, and when you're looking for shards, every chest counts. But I did see
Meanwhile,
in level 4 black we have Brack.
yes, and in white I could see wall and exit, so Elfland was loaded if you have the money to afford everything, which some of these runners do.
Yeah, and we've got Pickles and Beer also checking the marsh attic.
Frighteeth got the battle out of there, so that's another of the fetch quest items. One of the two that are locked behind the floater. Oh, and those werewolves have thunder. It's always the wolves.
Oh, there we go. Always one of the wolves always has something terrifying. If it's not werewolves with thunder, it's gerwolves with poison, stone poison. I play with the fun percent flag, so I have to translate them back in my head when I'm talking.
Same here. And we even have some people playing with alternate palettes for the enemies, so that's another degree of translation.
Yep. And I see Cyranus checking the item shop in Elf, getting opal armor and silver bracelets. So that's some pretty good gear for a knight, and silver bracelets are good for everybody.
Indeed. Might help some people not die early on. Well, at least not to physical attacks, since thunder, not physical.
Thunder. Yeah. But with as
Meanwhile,
punchy as somebody like Kraken 2 is, if you have a knight with opal plus 4, that's pretty much going to make Kraken not an issue.
Picos has made it to the bottom floor. As you might know, he was the champion of the winter tournament. Finds the adamant. So that's
And
two of the turn-ins in March already.
it looked like he found a heal stick, so that's something. Yep, heal stick plus 5. I mean,
Rarely ever the thing you want to do with your turn, but might come in handy in a pinch. And we could see the wizards on a tile because this flag set has vanilla tiles. We always know where to find everything. If you need a grind, go to Volcano. The Agamas will be waiting for you.
yeah, the Agamas will be waiting, but there's always ice for an eye grind, but nobody brought a black belt, so yeah, Agamas. Everybody's checking through Marsh and trying to get their way out.
Friday wiping to some werewolves once again, deciding to just not bother with this space.
I can't blame him.
Oh,
Oh no, he was just burning
that
off
was
an
just to
encounter.
burn some encounters.
I couldn't blame him. After getting bounced twice out of a dungeon, I tend to be like, yeah, I'll come back later. I feel that.
Yeah, this space will be a lot more comfortable for those who came in with X8 on a mage.
Yeah, and Pickles
Only
and Beer
having to do
finding the
one of the
thunders.
two walks.
Oh.
Who rolled this seed, by the way? Was it Jeshida?
Yeah, it was Jay Shy. Jay Shy rolled, as far as I know, he rolled everything in the Tournament of Champions.
Okay, so that's who should be blamed for the wolves.
Yes, absolutely. I know it wasn't me this time. Jay Shy once again passing the book to Danny. But it looks like the slog of marsh is real for all of our runners. Woo Bear actually looks like he might make it out.
Don't jinx it, please. Okay. Rubet did make it out alive.
Look, I can't jinx them from this far in the future. They can't hear me this far in the past. If they can, then
You'd
there's
think
a
so.
very different conversation that needs to happen.
You'd think so, but commentators curse.
Oh yeah,
Space-time doesn't care about it.
And no, Mecklin, he found the werewolves with thunder and got wiped and had to start over.
So Frighteeth is also on the way out of marsh.
Excellent.
And every time I see some werewolves on one of those 4 quadrants of the screen, I tense up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that it's a visceral. I know this is bad reaction.
And looks like Ruba said earlier in chat, the Hystic is good money indeed.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Frighteeth has found an unrunnable, one of the many signatures elements of this flag set. 16% of all encounters are unrunnable, which is higher than in vanilla. One of the more infamous parts, and part of the reason why some people are glad to be done with it.
Yeah, they say they're done with it, but it's the tournament that will never die. Oh my.
So, Rubert on the way to Crescent Lake.
I like it, going to see those old men, see what they're hiding.
Well, it's just a check like any other. But you never know.
Houses for 3,000, a little pricey. Don't like it. Especially not this early when money's still at a premium.
And it was the Oxyel, so the old man did hide something.
Excellent. So that gives him access to see if he can find a ship and a canal.
Ooh. Meanwhile, I see that Pickles had a bit of a run-in with some scum that decided to that the werewolves didn't need to do everything on their own and stand like the fighter. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah. Especially because he was most of the way out of that run when the scums caught him, it looked like.
Also on Friday's screen, another wolf unrunnable. Every kind of wolf has something to say in this seed. This Ruber is heading into a volcano. A good place to go. Many chests.
Absolutely,
So,
gotta check that armory. And Fried Heath taking the long way around, it looks like.
and Tyrion is checking Provoker. In the meantime, those pirates, not a threat in this flag set.
I almost feel bad for them. In the vanilla game, they're actually kind of a threat. And it gives him the ruby. Interesting.
So I think that leaves the progression to the NSC. The way out of there might either be the floater or the ship plus canal, but they will need either of those to get access to any new location. And as we can see, it will either be in a volcano or in ice. Who knows if someone will make the play to go in ice instead?
We'll see. Without warp magic, but I see Cyranus finding Ice 3 and Fast at level 2.
Many elemental sweepers, kind of except for not having nuked yet, and fast. Nice to have the buff magic be pretty low level for the end game.
That it does. Nothing in white magic worth speaking of. I think it was fog and A ice.
And meanwhile, Pickles has finally made it out of marsh. And Mube is approaching one of the most high places in the volcano, the armor rate.
Yep, and
So,
he finds EXPs.
money,
Fried
money, heal potions, the bridge,
Womp womp.
money, the vanilla grey one ties,
Fried Teeth fighting the pirates. Cyranus checking Matoya.
Pickles selling the heal staff. I was scared for a second that it would be the Excal. And the volcano has the chime, not relevant yet, but very nice to have. And the sky will usually be one of the most shard-rich places in the game.
Absolutely,
Between the many chests and the 4 from Tiamat.
Exactly, and looked like the Cyranus pulled a ribbon out of Matoya
Nice find.
by turning in the crystal. Didn't see where they got the crystal, but they obviously had it.
Generally, if we don't catch it, it's because it was a shop item or something.
It's very possible. Thankfully, our handy-dandy trackers do notice everything, even if I don't. So thank you to Mecklin and Catnip Bumblefarts for tracking tonight.
Yes. Matoya fell for that one situation that happens all too often when you have glasses, not knowing where they are and not being able to find them because you just can't see anything. Surprisingly common.
Frustratingly, yes. As someone who has very thick black shirt out of top left of Volcano, Agamafloor. But as I was saying, yes, someone who has very thick glasses, absolutely terrible when you set them down somewhere and forget about them.
And now imagine if they were a crystal.
Yeah.
That did not fit on your bedside table.
No, you have to keep it somewhere else.
Meanwhile,
as
I see that Sionis has gone for the play we mentioned earlier of going for ice over volcano. As Uber finds the TNT. Again, not progression, but another turn in.
And Mecklin in the chat informing us that the crystal was next to Matoya in a box.
Yep, that's what I was going on about with the glasses.
I did not put 2 and 2 together. Oh, Woobear finding a rod.
So much progression for later on, but nothing to get out of the NSC. So at this stage there are just 3 chests left in the volcano, so looks like going to ice first might be paying off. Especially since I don't really see how Woobear could take on carry at this level and with the gear that was fun so far. Might have to take the walk out.
Yeah. And it looks like that's what they're doing.
Can't
Taking
blame
all of their
them.
stuff. Yeah. Now, when you're sub level 10 and all you've got to your name is a white shirt and quad axe, a black shirt and quad axe, you don't go after a fiend.
Especially Carrie. I've done the mistake one too many times of underestimating her. You usually think, it's okay, she's not Kraken. No, she does hit very hard.
Yeah, she does. And Pickles and Beer checking level 6 magic finds Brack and Cake. And I didn't catch white magic, but they know what they found. So we likely will not get to feed Lich his cake or Bracken the Kraken.
And I see that Sionis with that triple mage comp with 2 black mages and red is making heavy use of Codex.
It's a good play for the early game where very little will resist it, especially with the threshold cranked up to 600.
Indeed, when the elemental spells might sometimes not quite be enough with those slightly above average scalings on enemies. And Sionis finds the slab.
And the herb.
So how many of the tannins are left to find at this point? That actually might be all of them across all the runners.
I think the only thing we're missing is cube.
Well,
I think
was
across all
thinking
the
of
runners,
the fetch quest items, but yes. At this point, once we find a way out of the inner sea, that will be a smooth sailing from that point on.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that between all the runners, they have found all of the fetch quest items and no progression.
Well, lots of progression, just not for now.
No way out of the inner sea.
Sionis coming up on the last 4 chests, nice.
Right, he's picking up his slab and herb. Pickles and Beer over in Provoca.
Ribbon! Lots of money, and the key, that progression. So, tell me, which place will it be? There's a cruel part of me that thinks it will be in Marshlocked.
I was just thinking that I want to see it in Marshlocked because nobody checks Marshlocked if you have to double dip. But I think it's more likely that it'll be in Elfland.
Sionis making play of just using some codex on the eye for early experience.
It's a good play, and looks like Fryteeth pulled a white shirt somewhere, and I wasn't paying attention.
So, how long will it be before we can see the key locations? Probably sometime, given that's how valuable the eye can be. No, Fryteeth is heading out. And so is Cyrenus, actually.
Yeah, Cyrenus took a couple levels. I think Fryteeth is happy with getting his thing and just bouncing and going to go check those key boxes to trying to get out of the inner sea and grab what he can. Apparently the white shirt was in ice and I just blinked and missed it. Thank you, Captain.
I need to correct Jeshida for a moment. No, we are not evil. We are just in tune with Rando. Our beloved.
The Rando is evil. We are merely its vessel.
Cyrenus getting an unfortunate unrunnable wizard encounter just before the exit. Probably not going to wipe to that, but A bit of an unfortunate time loss. Just on the last step.
Meanwhile, Fryteeth on the way back into the river system.
And Fryteeth passes up on the volcano plate. Just heading straight for the key. Makes sense with the... what's the name again for the loose key item flag in this flag set? The one that makes it more likely for key items to land in places that were unlocked by other items that you found.
Procedural logic, I believe it is.
Forward
Or
logic,
something
right? That's
forward
it.
logic. It's something to that effect. I assume that's always on, even when it's not.
Well, it was a bit of a gimmick to this specific flag set, if I recall correctly.
That makes sense. When you with Oops All Loose, it would make sense.
So, Fryteeth over at Earth Castle. The prince is about to hand them the tail. So, the moment they get that floater, the fighter will be able to wield that X card, making short work of any bots they come across, and
there's the ship.
So, I guess you were at least half right about that. That's half of the progression that needs to get out of here.
Yep, so the other half is either in Marshlocked, in the Dwarven Armory, or in Corneria Locked.
Or in Tough-Locked.
Or in Toflocked. I always forget Toflocked is a thing.
Many people do. And sometimes it matters.
Sheerness grabbing his light axe, and ooh, it's a Zeus bonk, not progression. But that does give the fighter some way to contribute to enemy packs.
With every place that doesn't end up being the answer, we get ever closer to my dream of returning to Marsh. I'm not evil, I insist.
You just understand how the randomizer works. I get it. I understand, my friend. Another ribbon.
Yes. I think that's all our ribbons. At least that was 2 loose ribbons. Don't remember if we got the incentive ribbon yet.
I think Matoya. Matoya gave an incentive ribbon.
Right, that was it. And Tough just had some shards. Valuable, but not the most important thing yet.
No, it's one step closer to go mode and a slight bonus to XP and gold.
Meanwhile, the dwarves gave the opal bracelet. Excellent. Going straight on the white mage.
It makes sense. They are squishy. They need all the help they can get.
And dwarves have lots of money. The cube, more future progression.
The dragon armor.
Lots of good stuff for once Bahamut is actually accessible.
Oh,
but
no.
Not progression.
Not progression.
So it's either the Northwest Castle or Marsh.
Where will you go next, Fryteeth? Where will you go next? Show us.
Well,
He's
that's
going
the
to Northwest.
Yes, Northwest is on the way, so... And there are no werewolves in there. Meanwhile, Pickles has reached TI and is taking that same grind. currently level 10.
Woo Bear going through his toe flock chests, finding things.
And gargoyles. The usual denizens of Turflocked.
Yes, they are guarding the chests. I don't know if you could hear my massive air quotes there.
Hey, in vanilla they are actually a bit of a threat. They punch surprisingly hard. And you have no good armor at this point of the game. Well, unless you are a fighter. Or a mage. And Frightit did find the canal. Disappointing. So at this point, if I recall correctly, and actually I can't see that from all the trackers, the only key item left to find is the floater. And it is optional in this flag set, because Northern Docks are turned on.
Fantastic.
As
And
well as the Behemoth Duck, that's right. So Fright is promoting, and finally getting to make use of all this gear that's been building up for the whole seed.
yep, and Woo Bear down indoors, having the TNT to turn in gives him the power ball.
So, throwing on the Dragon Armor, Opal Shield, and Zeus Bonks on the Knight. That's always satisfying to suddenly have all your slots filled in with excellent items like that. Oh, never mind,
Absolutely.
Opal Bonks, because the Zeus will go on the Ninja. And Woober finds the canal, but doesn't seem to have the ship yet.
Pickles and Beer waking the Elf Prince, getting his tail. Cyrus grinding up on some Agamas.
At level 14 and with Codex being as valuable in this deck set, I think Sionis has some pretty good odds against Carry. Yep, going for it. So let's see what she ends up having in store. After some encounters with ogres. So, black shirt, fast on the red, and temper. Red being a sort of makeshift fighter for the early game.
Yep. It's a good play. Especially now that they've been muted.
Carry did punch the fight. That's not a fighter, that's a red mage, pretty hard. Red mage swinging for 159, and the red mage is down. So at this point, it's a matter of whittling her down a bit and hopefully landing that quad X. It might be slow with that elemental magic, since she resists the 3 basic elements. Yeah. So instead, the backup plan of using temper on the thief. Swinging that little knife for a tiny bit of damage that will eventually build up to hopefully enough to put already 154 from its ring. Trying quad X, and it's a kill. So that's 1 orb for Sionis, which translates to 2 shots. Meanwhile, Ruber just done with promotion and heading for... Yep, heading straight for Sky. Probably checking some encounters on the way.
See if he can find some steak before going up and looting for every shard he can find.
Nope, just burning an encounter, not even looking at it. That's valid too. Because with a good hero run, you can loot that early floor without any interruptions. Finding a katana. That's nicer to swing than the main sword.
Katana +1, you love to see it when you have a ninja. Immediately exits out to save. I don't blame him. Fried Teeth and Volcano finding his chime. Cyrenus getting the Oxyel from the old man. And Pickles and Beer finding the canal.
So at this point, I'd say that Ube has a pretty clear lead over the other runners, having mostly looted all the dungeons that others have been in. Not getting the carry kill, if I recall correctly.
Correct, they did not kill Carrie, but they are still have it looked like 14 shards.
Yes,
So
those two shards are optional. It does translate to having to open a bit more chests later on, but you can live with that. Especially if it means not dying to carry.
exactly. Cyrenus finding his tail. Pickles and Beer getting the dragon armor from the dwarves.
Yep, the usual sweep of all the locations where that canal might have ended up. That will be cut short just before the juicy prize of revisiting Marsh, sadly.
No second marsh for us. The werewolves will have to save their thunder for another day.
And Pickles is headed for the Melman continent.
Looks like he's
That's
gonna
right,
go.
with the way all the progression has been, there will be nothing enough unless the float has ended up there. Spreading.
And looks like he's going to go check out what Sarda has. Which
Uber
might
making it for making their way through the first floor of Sky.
Pickles and Beer getting a shard. Thank you, Sarda. So very helpful. There's a reason no one visits you.
I do.
Woo Bear. Not even
Skipping
checking anything.
all of Sky 2, understandable, this floor can be pretty annoying.
Yep, it's a long floor. It's kind of annoying to get everything, but he is checking CC's gambit. Finding a shard and a pro ring.
Sky 3 is not quite as fast to loot without warp on Black Mage, but it's still much more rewarding for the number of steps you take than Sky 2.
Yep, fair. Pickles and Beer found the Aegis Shield and Titan's Trove, so that's most of a pseudo ribbon onto their knight once they promote. And Melmond has life and warp.
And luck. And thankfully nothing of value on the promo locked slot. And Fried Teeth on the bottom floor of Volcano, about to get probably a pretty easy carry fight with that promoted crew.
Yeah, I don't foresee them having any problems at all with this carry.
Well, she will be a bit too tanky to be one-shot by the X-Cal, but that can happen.
Yeah, you never know. That's the beauty of the rando. You can never tell for sure.
Pickles and be heading for their own promotion. So that will be just Nasir and Ace needing to head there after finding the flush ribbon.
Yeah. And Pickles and Beer immediately adjusting equipment.
Right, each fighter swings for 514 on carry. That's probably about half health pool with those flags, and Quadex finishes off on turn 2. Indeed, very easy with Promoted Party.
Not quite a speed bump, but still not a threat.
No, carry is always a threat.
Woobear pulling up to Tiamat, going bonk, fade, fast on the night. Tiamat not liking the look of that black mage.
Fast on the
Fast
ninja.
on the ninja. Fade and a pair of swings.
8 hit, 175 from the katana. 7 hits, I couldn't quite see the numbers from the night.
4 hits, 82. And 5 hits, 60 some odd. Or 600. I couldn't tell.
With the XL, it's probably more along the lines of 600 than 60.
That's my thought, but it could have been low rolls. I'm not sure. The 0 and the D look very similar when it flickers back past your eyes at 3 frames.
Anyway, with that, Wube is actually very close to finishing up on the shot. Meanwhile, I see Pickles is heading for Sea Shrine instead, going Mammoth side first, looking for those shots.
Makes sense. Lots of chests to check there. Plus, you can carbonate bubbles and make the entire Bubble Soda Co. very happy.
Trying to check the exact shot number on Woobear, but that menuing is just slightly too fast for me to catch it. Life 2 at level 7, a bit high. And as a reminder, in this flag set, only Life 1 is available in battle, not Life 2.
Oof.
So it is an excellent time saver over Life 1 outside of battle, as well as just saving on some healing supplies. But not quite as valuable as in most flag sets.
That's fair. It's good to have as a backup, but you want the Life 1 for in the themed fights.
Well, and if you don't have Life 1, then having Life 2, even if it's just outside of battles, is extremely valuable.
Absolutely. At level 7, not going to have many charges of it. So that's going to make it a very prime resource, unless they find a grind.
Oh, and that's the floater in Mermaid's Floor. And in the meantime, Woobear has been interrupted by an unrandom huge pack of the hags.
Oh no.
This pack is already a bit obnoxious to encounter when it's actually possible to run from. But thankfully, red hags just fall pretty easily to Lightning 2. And the second one in a row.
They brought friends.
Classic.
And they have slow. With the hags with slow. Thankfully, we're not swinging. Fry Teeth going into Earth. Not great, but I don't hate it. There's a decent number of chests there. It's just a lot of walking.
Well, a decent number of chests, but not very dense, and only 2 shots instead of 4 from the boss there. It was a very popular play during the tournament, since some quirk of the loose placement means that progression was very likely to end up in that cave. Though in this situation, it's a bit questionable to go for it when you're mostly just looking for shots.
That's true, and looks like the defense sword was found in C. That's handy.
The best sword. I'm used to people trying to contradict me when I make that claim, even though it's true.
I won't say it's the best sword, but I see why I see why you would say that. I don't think it's the best sword, but I understand your logic.
Look, a sword doesn't have to be swung to be good.
That's fair. I'm not saying it's a bad sword. I'm saying it's a good sword. I just don't think it's the best sword. It is a great tool.
And we were about to pull up the Kraken. I saw them keep a chest on the Sharknado floor after getting a shot, so that might be everything they need to reach 28.
Meanwhile, Fry Teeth still looting everything.
Yep, that's 24 shards out of 28, about to be everything. So swing from the ninja, I think that was, yep, defense from the knight, white shot from the white mage, and fast from the black.
Meanwhile, Pickles and Beer finding the seafood party pack.
Ooh, Kraken has thunder. Thank goodness for those ribbons.
And looks
6
like
hit
Poison
for
Touch.
674. That Kraken is not long for this world. Queuing up the Quad X, not needed since the knight then proceeds to 7 hit for 1600. Goodbye, Kraken.
Goodbye.
And with that, Ruba is go mode. But those levels are a bit concerningly low for heading into Torfa. So, what will it be? Maybe checking the desert? Or maybe out of grind? I know that was also a pretty popular play.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people going for the Topher grind, and it looks like they're
Yes.
going for the Topher grind.
That's it. Darking at the Meteor Duck. Maybe checking
Pop
some
grind?
shops. Right, getting some spells for the Knight and Ninja probably.
I could see that.
Very useful in case the mages go down. I remember lots of attack buffs. Yes, both fast and temper rolled in ninja available slots. So yes, I definitely understand going for those.
It makes sense. It's a good play. It's a good play.
Well, at least going for fast because temper is in Elfland. That would be a very long detour without the airship. So we're better just going straight for Torfa. As because in B he's putting up the Kraken. It will probably be about the same story as it was for Wu. And actually, Wu contradicted me once more, heading to get some magic. Before Torfa. Getting Codex on the ninja. Makes sense.
While you're there.
Because a Codex is basically the equivalent of dealing 600 damage in a single turn. Usually more than the ninja can pull off with the katana. And an unrunnable Grimp on the way. Just for fun.
Just for fun. And at 46 minutes 35-ish seconds, Uber is our first one into Topher. Finds a pack of Frosties.
And onto the third floor. I seem to recall that this is usually the favorite floor for grind. And no, Ruba is going straight in. Bold play.
They might be going for the R-Giant Agamas on the carry floor.
Or maybe And just
Maybe
seeing,
the zombie deeds.
I could see another scenario there. We were seeing that the seed put up relatively little resistance past Marsh Cave, and maybe thinking wrongly in this case that the other runners might be close behind. And well, actually this was an async with more than just these 4 runners, but just banking on an early finish for one of the better placements.
I can see the logic going speed. He's got fast. He's got temper. He's got a power bonk. He's got a white shirt. He's got a lot of the tools he needs. The levels are a little lacking. But
I see that chat is mentioning a hypothetical boss from a cave. This is nonsense. There is no boss there.
No. The only lich is in Topher. We haven't seen them yet. Here he comes.
What? There's a lich in Topher?
He's right there.
You sure? Because
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I
so
think
having
so.
1 ton. That's unusual. Okay,
Well,
that was a lich with zap. Thank goodness for the ribbons once again. And that swing from that would have been a 1-shot regardless of... Well, no, Lich 2 does have 500 HP, and I believe this killing went all the way up to 200%. So that might not have been one... That probably wouldn't have been a 1-shot from on its own.
no,
Carry
it
2.
would have been close. Carry 2, yeah.
Swing from both melees and the white shot, and probably a fast on the knight.
Yep, good call. Dart comes out, does nothing. And
Well,
nuclear. Oh no.
Well,
But
good to
everybody
see it
survives.
land this early and not take anyone down. And actually, I will correct you about Dark. That this flag set, the improved Dark flag, is on. So instead of being just, I believe it's a 20% decrease to your hit chance, which is negligible. Here, it's almost making you unable to hit your target.
Oh, absolutely. But they are all ribboned up, so Dark comes out and it doesn't matter.
Indeed.
Unless I miss my guess, Dark is a status effect, and ribbons protect against status effects.
Correct. Well, there is one pretty nasty exception to that, which is Slow 2, which is a non-elemental spell for some reason. Well, that reason being that it had to be an upgrade over a regular Slow. So it can make up for a pretty nasty surprise.
That's 100% fair. And Pickles and Beer is digging out the airship. At 50 minutes, he's in the air.
Unrunnable pack of waters. That is usually pretty unfortunate, but waters are actually an extremely good source of experience if you do end up having to fight them. So that brings Rube up to level 21. Still a bit low, but pretty good odds at this point of making it all the way through.
Absolutely. So, and thankfully, waters keep our light warriors hydrated.
And more insta-kills from the fiends with a Bane from Kraken. Anyway, stacking all the buffs on the knight, then swing, I think it was White Shot and Temper.
4 hits, 995.
Yep, probably going with a Quadex. There was the next turn. That little swing for 52 did the job. Not even needing to heal before going into Tiamat. That's not a very common sight. So, same strategy as usual. Tia punching pretty hard, but the ninja did make it. Oh, was that a miss menu? I see the ninja fasted himself instead of the knight.
I think the black mage fasted the knight.
No, the knight only swung 4 times.
Then I was wrong.
Or maybe it's just a dodgy Tia. Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah. Oh boy. And Bane takes out the black mage. Oh no.
Well, one of
Natural
those
head
had to land
cancer.
at some point. That black mage has really survived some nasty stuff on the way there, and will be brought back just after the battle. Because, while I don't think Knife One has... Oh, I see, because has found the Xbox, we are too busy commenting on the Topher, but one of
Yeah.
my favorite gimmicks from this flag set is Massa guarded by Vornak. In this case, what game is that actually? Because managed it just barely with the knight almost dead, but that's the master on that ninja, and some pretty good levels on the way to Tofu.
Yeah.
Well,
And
probably not
meanwhile,
hitting there immediately.
Blue Bear pulling chaos. You get a defense sword, a white shirt, a fast on. Oh boy.
That codex that doesn't land because ribbon. Tempering both melees apparently. I can respect that.
4 hits for 304. Not a bad start.
Yes, after all, the knight kind of lacks a strong scaling sword that benefits strongly from all the tempo stacks, and that's what the ninja has with that katana.
Yep.
7 hits, 612 from
Chaos
the
has
ninja.
fasted. Not that it's really going to help with that many invis stacks.
And yes, as you can see, even with all those tempo stacks, power bank stacks on the knight, that swing was just for 200 damage. So that's the kind of situation where double melee can really pay off.
Absolutely. And
And that's
Terminated.
GG for Wuber,
Get
finishing
your GGs out in chat.
at 50.06. A pretty clean run after... Well, I don't remember if they struggled with Thunderwolves.
And
As much as
Thunderwolves were a problem early on for everybody.
fair. And I think they were one of the main deciding factors in the difference between early times. There was a bit of routing and divergence past that point, that we can also attribute quite a bit of that difference.
And Fryteeth finds a Thor hammer, leaves it in a box up in sky, and the as I think of it as the snowflake floor, and people call it the spider floor.
So meanwhile, because he's headed for a volcano, probably getting the 2 shots from Carrie, and might also just grab a tiny bit of experience from Diagonals on the way.
Yep. On their way past the armory, finding more ogres. Serenus and Sky.
George, my beloved. This one is the sole reason I play with silly names stand down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Fryteeth needing, it looks like 5 shards. So if they kill Katia, 1 shard. Stop menuing so fast.
And meanwhile, Pickles is looting Volcano. I didn't see how many shots they were missing to enter their own go mode. Right teeth on the Bridge of Destiny. Good old signs.
You love them, except for when they're unrunnable.
Well, would you pass up that experience?
It depends on what they have for a script.
I guess so. And if Sionis doesn't get too many encounters on the way, we might get some dueling TS and carry at the same time.
Yep, dueling teas and a carry. Oh boy. And well, oh, Kelly's still around. The hit did not go off first, so the quad X missed. Meanwhile, looks like Fry Teeth is having a moment, or their stream froze. Pickles and Beer out of Volcano, no issues.
And heading to Sky, I forgot once again to check the shot count.
Meanwhile, Cyrenus breaking Tia into pieces.
Yes, that first encounter of House Reset is a bit too long to really go for Desert Grind.
Unfortunate, you hate to see it.
And looks like Fretit's VOD must have ended early or something. Oh, actually, Jishai, our streamer, saying it will be back in a second.
Technical issues and or shenanigans. And Pickles and Beer now in Sky.
And Cyrenis entering Topher at 59:57. So just shy of an hour.
And Fry Teeth's stream is back up.
This time will probably not be accurate to the final time because of it. Oh, okay, Fry Teeth was AFK, that's what happened. Okay.
Fair enough, it happens. Life unfortunately happens to us all.
Some unrunnable zombie days in Topher. Not the worst encounter to be forced to take, once again.
Oh, not at all. Zombie D's, tasty XP when you're diving Topher.
I refuse to employ the word tasty for any undead, thank you very much. I do not want that mental image.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Pickles and Beer getting through Tia, no problem. Woo Ranch had insisting they're like beef jerky. How dare you impugn the good name of beef jerky like that?
It's like if it was dried after going bad. Not the best timing.
And meanwhile, Cyrenus running over their speed bump.
Zapid bump? Nah, that doesn't work.
Unfortunately, Cyrenus not having the knight to swing the X-Cow has to resort to, I think, Katana and
I think that was the light axe.
I think that's the light axe. Yeah, it's blue and axe shape. Seems like a
Pretty,
light axe.
it's pretty hard to remember to use that, since especially it's only available with a blessing on the red wizard, but it is effective against undead, so that's some pretty nice melee damage against Lich.
Fair enough. Pickles and beer into Topher at 102.18, and Fry Teeth just starting his dive. So Cyranus with a slight advantage, if nothing goes wrong, but the other two hot on his heels.
So power bank, white shirt, fast and temper. Pretty classic for a ninja carry.
Yep. Meanwhile, Pickles and Beer just dispatching their zombie Ds.
Attacking more white for those nasty carry punches. Since, if I recall correctly, this party does not have access to any life spells.
Correct. And nuclear. There it
Oof,
is.
that nuclear just barely rolled low enough to have no casualties. Oh, okay, right! The thief has heal magic. That's a good point. Always an excellent blessing to land on a melee.
Absolutely, especially now that it's been changed so that it guarantees a life cast.
Well, I believe this is still using an older version of the rando, so it's taking up all 3 slots, but a melee is not going to complain about having a level 8 full.
Oh no, absolutely not. And yep, you're right. I see that on Woo Bear's screen. It is an older version. Um, wasn't sure if in that version it still had the guaranteed to have life.
I see some dueling speed bumps. Well,
Yep.
I don't see them anymore because speed bump.
We saw them and now we don't. Just as intended. Meanwhile, Cyranus going for their water. Drink deep, my friend, of the experience.
Stay hydrated.
You too, chat. Have yourself a sip. And we have dueling carries.
Sin is about to pull up to Kraken 2. Might have some nasty surprises in store, or might not. I do remember that Bane, which is not as much of a threat with the ribbons in those readily available spots.
Yep.
So, power bank, fast. No, not fast, white shirt, temper and fast. Again, the classic.
Yep.
The
Bane
Bane
rolls
doesn't
in.
land on the unribboned Black Mage. Attacking more tempers.
I like it. I like it. This katana is going to hit like a truck.
A truck of folded steel.
5 hits for 846.
Not
Need a
bothering
bigger.
to apply more buffs, saving them for the last couple fights, of course, since they'll be even more valuable there.
Absolutely. Drinking up. Gotta get those. Gotta get those casters back on their feet.
Going with the same setup, I see alternating the fast casts between the two black wizards between the fights.
Making sure they don't run out. It makes sense.
Hmm. And actually, yes, I've been corrected. This is not the katana. That's the whirlpool. Slightly weaker. Some people will claim it's worthless. I wouldn't go that far. It's probably my least favorite of the legendary weapons, but valuable nonetheless.
Absolutely, it's. I I think the sword that you swing is the sword that you need. You swing what you've got. If you've got a katana, you swing the katana. If you got a vorpal, you swing the vorpal. Personally,
Wait,
if I'm running a
did a
ninja,
Brack land on Tia?
it looked like Brack landed on Tia, but Brack also landed on Tia 1, so at least there's some symmetry there.
And Friatith has actually almost caught up on Cyanist, entering Chaos with just a couple seconds of
Yep, and Pickles and Beer hot on their heels.
showing the power of the Excalibur, making short work of Odafin, not needing anywhere near as many buffs. So, still going with the same buff pattern. Actually, no, I'm going for more tempers on round 1. Probably since the ninja might be able to cast fast later on, even if the black wizards die.
Yep. Makes sense. And I see Pickles and Beer and Fry Teeth catching an Inferno from Chaos.
Triple chaos. My favorite.
You love to see it. You love to see it. There's so much chaos here. Everybody. Chaos. And there's a nuclear for Cyranus. Goodbye, mages.
But thankfully,
show
there
the
was
name.
no need to hit the ninja back up, as that's GG for Cyanis. That's second place out of the runners that were shown on stream.
Yep, at 109.18. Good, solid time.
I see Friatith is struggling a bit with that nuclear. Raising the white mage, good play.
No, you cheer for the ninja, you fool.
Certainly, I would have gone with the knight. But that's personal preference. And Pickles and Beer must have finished just slightly ahead of Friatith at 109.43.
And I missed it because I looked at Fry Teeth. And as Fry Teeth finishes at 110.23, GG's in chat. Less than a minute separating Fry Teeth and Pickles and Beer.
That was an excellent pick of Buzz because, well, Buba did have a significant lead a lot of the way through, but we saw 3 runners beating Chaos almost within a minute of each other. That's not often that you catch that on stream.
Yep, it's incredibly rare. It's a beautiful sight to see, and it shows just how good all these runners are.
So, with that, of course, this is a vodcast. We will not have interviews of the runners as on live races. So, it turns out that I'm not the most experienced for signing off, so
Have a good night, everybody. I've been Theanar. This has been Felisan, our restreamer, Jay Scheidel, and our trackers, the wonderful Captain Bumblefarts and Mecklin. This has been Async number 4, the Tower of Ordeals Tournament of Champions, signing off.